weather forecast for today, and it is sunny, clear skies, and zero chance of you being an a-hole. Imagine you go to service and everyone is collectively as a group praying for you to date someone. I love my steaks. Like I look at a cow and I'm just like, filet mignon, here I come. Do men not know where to buy bedding? Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm V, and today we are diving into some new juicy stories for you guys. So we are going to be looking at stories from Am I the A-hole thread, which is a subreddit. Basically, people submit in stories and they ask for advice, guidance. Sometimes they want to rant, and they ultimately want to know whether they're in the wrong or not. Hence the Am I the A-hole tag. Now, our job is to enjoy, read along, give some advice, maybe judge a smidge, and overall listen to some heartwarming and or maybe heartbreaking stories. Now, today's theme is say no, please. My first instinct might be for OPs to run and run far away. Now, before we get to the stories, I have to address the question that you guys have been asking me. How was Labyrinth? I watched it. You guys were telling me because we read, one of the stories that we read, Opie had this beautiful dress that she thrifted to cosplay and dress up as the main character from Labyrinth. I watched it. I don't know why. I think it's because one of you guys said that it kind of is similar to The Princess Bride, and I love movies like Princess Bride. It's kind of action, fantasy, romance. So yeah, I thought it was a romance movie. So maybe that's where I kind of veered off. In a word, I think it's good. I actually really enjoyed the film. The puppetry was pretty cool. Did not expect so many puppets. I think there's like in total 2, maybe 3 actors at most, if you count the baby for most of the movie. Really liked it. The effects, impressive. For a 1980s or late 1980s movie, pretty good. The dress, oh my gosh, it is iconic. Just seeing it from a picture does not do it justice. I really liked it. But I do have to say, why is his name Gerald? Gerard? I'm forgetting his name. What was it? I'm forgetting his name. The male lead. The wizard. No, the Goblin King. Why is the Goblin King's pants so thin? Like all the outfits were so great. Even the puppets' outfits were really good. And then you look at his pants, and his pants are literally just, it's very noticeable. It reminds me of thermal flannel, but way too thin. It's way too obvious in some scenes. I was uncomfortable. I really like the random singing dance numbers with the puppets. It was fun. Overall, I would rate it, honestly, a 7 out of 10. Very enjoyable watch. Fun. I get why it is not a romance movie. Okay? Homegirl is like 15 and he's like an ancient goblin king. So kind of, I thought it was Princess Bridey. It is kind of Princess Bridey. Overall, I'm really glad you guys recommended it. If you have any rom-com suggestions or action fantasy movies like that, perfect for spooky season for me to watch, please let me know because I love your recommendations so far. Now, I do have M with me, my fiance. He also watched the movie. What did you think?
Very 80s.
It was. It's very, the poofy hair, I think it got me inspired. I asked M, okay, if I did my hair like that, like with big volume, big poof, I think it would look good. I think I could rock the big volume look. I've never had very voluptuous hair. So I don't know. I think it feels very pretty, very magical. And he was like, maybe not. Maybe not. There's a reason why it's an 80s hairstyle. But who knows? I think I could rock it. Overall, how would you rate the movie?
I have to agree. Around 7 out of 10.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm very impressed by the effects. Very impressed. You're kind of smiling. You're like,
I don't think that some of them aged that well, but we have to keep in mind it's an 80s movie.
Very fun watch though, guys. So good job. All right, let's hop into our first story. Our first story is from the subreddit AITH. Am I the a-hole for telling a church group to leave the restaurant after I heard their prayer? So I, 21-year-old female, work at a small restaurant filled with locals and church groups who frequent the restaurant quite often. For context, I'm in a relationship with someone I met at the restaurant, and most of the people here know that. On to the story. This afternoon, I had a church group of 8 come in. I know them all by name. 2 in particular are Josh and his son, Adam, who wasn't in attendance today. Everything's going fine, normal conversation is flowing, and at the end, they asked me to join hands with them in prayer. I don't practice any religion, but for my customers, I bow my head in respect. Let them say their prayers and finish off with an amen. Is it amen or amen?
I think it's amen.
Amen. See, guys, I used to go to Catholic school. So for me, this is like digging back in years of knowledge. Like, is it amen? Is it amen? Opie continues. That didn't happen today. Josh started the prayer, and as we near the end, I feel him squeeze my hand a little and say, and Jesus, we ask you to free this beautiful young woman from her ties to another man for my boy Adam. I know in my heart and with you that they're meant to be together, but don't want it to happen in sin. Again, I ask you to free this woman from her. I stopped listening at this point, pulled my hand away, and left the table. I'm dying a little bit because, okay, I'm not used to this. Maybe this is more common in small towns because I do feel like a small town vibe here where servers I'm assuming she's a server because she works at the small restaurant, but maybe she's not. Maybe she's a hostess or something. Will sit in prayer with their customers as they sit and eat. That's unusual for me. I would not expect that. Is this normal? Is this common for hostesses or servers to like hold their customers' hands as they have a prayer at the restaurant? Is it? So already this story is a little bit bonkers for me. But what gets me is, you know what? I do want to say, Josh, I see you. I see you trying to matchmake for your son, Adam. You see a nice lady and you're like, you know what? This nice lady and my son, Adam, they're like a match made in heaven. I can see it. I can see the vision. Very cute in theory. But the audacity and the bravery to kind of slide that in. I mean, Father's just holding her hand and go, please. And he's calling upon Jesus. Like he's dropping the J word and he's going, please let this woman be free from her ties to another. That's brave. I think if I was Adam the son, I would be so embarrassed. If I was sitting there and my dad was doing this, I'd be like, Dad, please don't try to matchmake me with this woman who's just trying to do her job. Why are you doing this? I am just mortified for her. But let's see how OP handles this. OP says, pulled my hand away and left the table. I got Adam's number from a mutual friend of ours and called him to ask what the F his group was on about. He was very apologetic and told me that he had a crush on me way back when I first started working at the restaurant, almost 2 years ago at this point. That is long gone, as he knew we had different beliefs, along with wanting to still come to the restaurant without any awkward tension. Apparently, his dad took his little crush and effing ran with it. He told me at church that his group prays about this all the time and that he doesn't attend as much because of it, along with the fact that their preacher even mentioned it a couple times during group prayer. Please. I think we need to join our hands here, guys, and say a prayer for Adam. It extends past the restaurant, guys. It's one thing to want to matchmake and your son in public. Oh gosh. And in front of the object of his now ex-crush. But to do it in church and the whole freaking service knows about it, even the preacher knows about it. I feel like this is not a good look for Adam. Like, I just imagine all the old ladies in the church during service, they're just like, when Adam walks by, they're just like, oh, poor Adam. He's that kid who's in love with that chick at the restaurant who's already in another relationship, right? Poor thing. Oh my gosh, Dad, please stop being embarrassing. So I come from a traditional Viet family, and honestly, I don't want to say arrange. It's more like arranged meetups or introductions to people's sons and stuff, and just families introducing their daughters or sons to other people. It's not that uncommon or unheard of, but I'm just imagining if I was dining at a restaurant with my family and my parents just up and go, that nice waiter. Like, it's one thing. You've heard stories where parents will come and, oh, look, like tease their kid a little bit and go, oh, you have a crush on the waitress or the waiter. But to go and say, come and hold my hand and may you be freed from your relationship to their face? I don't know. Well, what would you do if your parents tried to do this?
Yeah, I can't imagine my parents doing that. In case of Adam's father saying that, I guess it is public, right?
Oh, yeah, it's real public.
I just find it very inappropriate.
I'm dying. I think I would just up and leave the restaurant. I think I would just like wordlessly just go, or maybe not wordlessly. I would just go, I don't know anyone here at this table. I'm sorry, I'm at the wrong table. And I would just up and leave. I don't know what else you can do to diffuse the situation other than just, I guess I will just never eat at this restaurant again. That's it. That's my I don't know. So far, that's where I'm at for Adam. But let's go back to OP. Let's see what she's gonna do. OP says, I guess he called his dad because he came up to me and berated me for interrupting his prayer and for calling Adam to tell on him. I told him his prayer made me very uncomfortable as I'm secure in my relationship and will never step out in favor of Adam. I said, I don't know what you think praying about it will do, but no form of any God would ask me to leave my partner in your favor to make you and only you happy. You and anyone else actively participating in your effed up fantasy can leave. So they did. Our owner knows these people well and also attends the same church. So obviously, she heard about it. She told me that she knows I have different beliefs, but not to talk to people that way in the restaurant, as it's a bad look on her as well. I apologize for the hurtful words I used, but I will not let anyone think that praying for me to leave my partner will work, nor will I stand being directly disrespected in a group of people like that. Am I the a hole? OP. You know, I can read you your weather forecast for today, and it is sunny, clear skies, and zero chance of you being an a hole. I, I am so sorry. This is so uncomfortable, especially in your work setting. But it makes for a really good story. I have to tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed this tragedy, like tragic humor story of yours. I'm sorry you're going through this. Now, my question is, will you still continue to work here? Not that I don't think you need to leave or, quit in any way, shape, or form. But since this seems to be like a local hot spot where, the locals come often and you already knew this group, I feel like Josh, Adam's dad, is very, very likely to come here and dine at this restaurant again. I do not think you'll ever see Adam, though. Wait, is this why Adam wasn't at the restaurant? Because he knew the dad was going to pull something? If so, then my condolences to you, Adam, because this is just muddling to the highest degree. I am pissed, though. Okay, I'm joking a little bit, guys, but I am super pissed that Opie had to go through this. And I'm pissed for Adam. I think, though, Adam, you need to set your dad straight and say, Dad, this was a little crush that happened 2 years ago. You need to stop. You need to just chill out. Stop trying to matchmake me with people. And please stop blabbing about this to our church friends and family members and everyone at our local restaurant. It's to the point where Adam can't even go to the restaurant or to his church. That is pretty severe. I mean, come on. I applaud Josh in a weird way just for his sheer bravery, though, because it takes a lot to not only have a vision, fantastical vision as it may be, to try and matchmake your son. I mean, his son is also, I'm assuming, early 20s as well. So it's not like they're like a little teenager for you to kind of play chess with. He's not your little chess piece. But the bravery is just, the audacity is just astounding for me. There is a little bit of an edit. I hope OP didn't get in trouble because she did technically kick out her boss's customers here. But let's see. Edit and update for info. My boss wasn't ignoring what happened. She was more upset that I cursed at people in the restaurant and caused a scene. She was fully on my side when she found out what happened. I spoke to her today and she said that she spoke to Josh and he was under the impression that my relationship wasn't serious since we've only been together since January. Okay, not me scrolling up to see when the story is. So this story is 5 days old and this recently happened. We are in the month of October, last I checked, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't know. Am I just not updated with dating times? And maybe Josh is, the father is? A 10-month relationship does seem like not a fling. But what do I know? Do we have 10-month-long flings now? Is that our dating culture now? If so, I'm slightly concerned. Just saying, that's very concerning. But still, even if you don't think they're in a serious relationship, they're still in a relationship. Who are you to butt in on someone else's life and say, may the higher powers that be free you from your relationship that isn't that serious, even though it's 10 months long. And I don't really know you personally. And so that you may date my son. See, even out loud, that sounds crazy. Sometimes there are certain things that you think in your mind that kind of makes sense, and maybe you speak it out into existence, and it sounds crazy. And this is it. This is one of those times. Perhaps Josh should go through some sort of maybe mental reflection. So let's see. Opie continues. As for being mentioned at church, I called the church to speak to someone about it and got their pastor, priest, question mark. I'm not sure the difference, honestly. He said it was mentioned during group prayer, but not in the setting I was thinking. He said when they did pray about it, they prayed for Adam to find someone special, that I was never mentioned by name, which I suspect is a lie. He apologized for the group, said they were so far over the line that he'll be having a conversation with them about what is and isn't appropriate for prayer, because what they were praying for wasn't prayer, that it was a form of coercion and it was unacceptable. Ooh. I'm liking well, OP says pastor slash priest, so she's not sure who it is, so I'm just going to call them pastor priest. I am applauding pastor priest here because OP tried to get to the bottom of the situation, see what's being said. So love that for OP. And he acknowledged that it's inappropriate because it really isn't a prayer thing. It's more like peer pressure, group pressure. But the more I hear about this, the more pathetic the situation sounds for Adam and Josh. Imagine you go to service and everyone is collectively as a group praying for you to date someone. Is there something wrong with Adam that we don't know about? I just have a question. Is the town so starving of single eligible women that the entire group, the entire church is praying for Adam to find someone? If so, I believe, is it? Okay, first I'm thinking, have we maybe checked to see if Adam has a BO problem? Is he scaring away his first dates? Is he even going on first dates? Has he tried an app? I don't know. I'm not a dating coach, but this seems like there must be something else going on.
Why would you jump to BO? That's so. That came out of nowhere.
I feel bad because I feel like now shots are being fired at him. Not my intention. No, but seriously, when I think of someone who cannot get a date to the point where his entire town and church and father is marking him out like a vegetable and like in public like this, if he either has a bad personality, he either is so ugly. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. He's either so ugly that he is somehow turning down women left and right or turning away women left and right. Or it's BO. I don't know what else it could be. That's why I jumped to BO.
I don't know, but I don't. I don't think we have enough information to be able to determine Adam's situation. Nor I don't think it's really important here.
I don't know. Perhaps it is taking my curiosity to another level because every detail I learn about the father of why he's doing this and why this whole situation of find Adam a girl is so severe, it reveals another layer. It's like a layers of an onion. Each layer is more unappealing compared to the previous. I don't like onions, guys. So that's why that's my comparison. I'm sure some people would love an onion. But like what? I don't think dad is doing as good of a job as he thinks he is marketing Adam to the public. He's better off doing one of those I don't know, creating a dating app profile. Maybe Adam and Josh can sit around and have some father-son bonding time and create Adam's dating profile together. And he's only 21. What is the big deal if he wants to be single? Or maybe he hasn't found the right person yet. Why are you pressuring your son so badly that he's now like known by the entire town that, hey, you heard about Adam? We're all praying for him tonight, for him to find a lady. It is tragic. Okay, if we ever had a kid, can you imagine ever doing this for our kid?
No.
What if he was like, Dad, I'm so single, but I don't want to be single. I need help. What's the first thing you do?
Hard to say, but I mean, there are many other ways for Adam to get a date. Or
are you sure you wouldn't go to the local restaurant and try to talk him up to the hostess or waitress?
Yeah, that is way out of line. That does not seem to be appropriate. I can't think of a case where that would be appropriate. Where
I'm just dying with this one. So, Opie continues. I also spoke to Adam again today, and he apologized again for what happened. Said he was utterly embarrassed and humiliated. He said he understands not wanting him or his family at the restaurant anymore, but I don't call these shots. He said he'll get Josh to apologize, but we'll see how long that takes. I said I'll accept his apology if it's genuine. I'll gladly apologize for the hurtful words I use, but I will not apologize for standing up for myself or my relationship. Some people want to know why I joined their prayer. Most of the people who come in to the restaurant are lovely people. I have no problem joining their prayer if they ask. I never speak during them. I simply bow my head in respect and say amen. Dang it. And say amen at the end. Some even prayed for me and my well-being when they found out about some problems in my life. Most are just blessing the food or prayer for someone's health, etc. This has never been an issue with anyone until yesterday. Thank you all for being so supportive and educating me on what is and isn't appropriate for prayer and telling me what exactly it was that he was trying to accomplish. I appreciate you all. You know what? I really like this OP because I mean, it's hard to say. Obviously, we're hearing it from her perspective, so I am definitely a little bit biased on her side. But she tried to find the truth. And it's nice that she's trying to get to the bottom things. And it seems like the surrounding people, her boss is supporting her. The priest or pastor at the church is aware and is going to take action to support her in this case and correct the situation. And Adam seems pretty reasonable as well. Again, my condolences, Adam, because I do not doubt his embarrassment and humiliation that he felt. So now let's look at the comments. First one from Lucille. There has never been a time when showing up at someone's place of work and misleading them into partaking in your prayer, already totally effing weird right there, and then calling for your God to hook them up with your son is in any way appropriate. I can only imagine what Josh thought was going to happen. What a mortifying and uncomfortable position to put your server in. No one should feel compelled to join a prayer as a show of respect. Respectful would have been to not impose your prayer on others. In response to berated me for interrupting his prayer and for calling Adam to tell on him, FFS. What is FFS?
For F sake.
Okay. Now, Josh thinks you owe him confidentiality and again behaving like an entitled hot mess at a restaurant to a server. This guy. Okay, so I'm glad that kind of cleared it up. I was a little bit taken back by the whole, is it typical maybe in more religious areas or communities that you just have your servers kind of jump in on your prayer with you at the table? So it is not normal. And you guys can correct me if you have experience with this or have other opinions about it. But glad to see that the comments are kind of echoing my confusion with this. Another comment from Curious One. Not the whole, your business's owner should have done better. Not having her employees back when they are made an unwitting part of some pervert's arranged marriage fantasy is what is a bad look on her. So I think that's why OP, in response to this comment, is why OP provided that update with the fact that her boss initially didn't have the whole story, and now that she does, she has OP's back.
Yeah, before you read the update, I was gonna mention Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob.
What do you mean?
Basically, well, the idea that Mr. Krabs is all about the money and he's trying to retain customers for no matter what the reasoning is. So, like, I guess the SpongeBob or whoever else, they have to like
please the customer no matter what.
Customer, yeah, no matter what. So, I'm glad that I guess the OP's manager is not Mr. Krabs in that case.
When Em just mentioned Mr. Krabs, I immediately thought of like his laugh. Like Opie's out here getting like forced into a, hey, you should date my son. And then Mr. Krabs is in the background just going, That was my impression of Mr. Krabs' laugh, guys. I think that was pretty good. What do you rate it? I'd say 8 out of 10.
No, 5 out of 10.
Oh, I thought it was pretty good. I had to choose this as a frontlining story today, guys. It took me out. I really thought that the story was going to be about something else, to be honest. It would have never occurred to me that any dad would try to matchmake their son by calling upon God. It's a new one. It's a new one for me. And in their workplace, very funny. You know what? I will finish this by saying, I'm glad that you have people on your back, OP, and it is marked. Well, actually, the story's not marked yet, but a lot of the comments, most of the comments I'm seeing, they're saying OP is not the a-hole, which I agree with. And glad that you have a good support system, it seems. Now, I think the kind of sidelined victim of this all as a result of his dad's actions, Adam. I think you might want to try moving at this point. I don't know that women in your area will be up to your dad's kind of a way of marketing you. So, I'm hopeful for you, Adam. Unlike our first story where the dad is trying to matchmake two people who are really not a match, you and I are a match made in heaven. And if you're enjoying this story and wanting to hear the next ones, don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe, guys. Let's get to 3K together. Thanks. All right. Our next story is from the subreddit. Am I overreacting? Now we have photographic evidence for the story, guys, and it is also our wild pick. Now, if you haven't tuned in before, wild pick is just that, a story that stood out, kind of kooky, kind of chaotic, and I thought you guys have to hear this. So the story goes, am I overreacting? Not staying the night at my new boyfriend's house with his pillow situation.
Oh, I think I know what you're referring to. I've seen this.
Have you seen it?
Well, I scrolled past it.
You might have seen the image. Yes,
Yeah.
we have photographic image of this, guys.
I hope that's the. Well, maybe I don't hope that's.
You don't
story.
hope.
Yeah, I hope it's something else.
So I'm gonna read you guys the story first from OP, and then I'll show the image. OP says, "Okay, I, 28 years old female, went over to my boyfriend's 25-year-old male's house for the first time. We've been dating for about a month, and I had somehow never noticed his pillow situation before. When I noticed, I made a comment about how long he's had the pillows, and apparently he's been using them since he was a kid. So I asked him if he had any other pillows, and he said he just had pillows on the left of the first picture, but that his cat usually sleeps on it. I said I don't really want to sleep on those pillows, and I prefer to sleep at my own place with clean pillows. His response? He waited for a minute and then said he'd be sad to see that I would choose something as small as pillows to come between us spending the night together, but that if I needed to go, that he understood. I ended up going home and spending the night at my own house instead. I asked if I could bring my own pillows and gently suggested he get rid of his. He said it was totally fine for me to bring a pillow, but that he wouldn't get rid of his as they are sentimental. Thoughts? I feel like I can't even kiss him or anything while we're sleeping because I don't want him to get his gross pillowness all over me and my clean pillows. Today, I've learned something new, guys. A vocabulary word that I will now be adding. Pillowness. You guys might be wondering, okay, is there ever a pillow situation that warrants not sleeping over? Before this, I would have thought no, because pillows seem like not a big deal. I mean, there's different varying levels of firmness, plushness to have the perfect optimum pillow. Each person has their preference, yada, yada, yada. Satin versus linens versus cotton, whatever pillowcases, right? That's what I'm thinking. Pillow cleanliness is on another level. What is it? Like, I think you're supposed to change your bedding and sheets and pillow covers like every 2 weeks, right? I think we're pretty good at doing that, I would say. Like, we've been keeping up with it.
I think that's the top kind of limit. I think you probably want to try to do it more often than that.
Did I just out myself as a dirty pillow user? Okay, maybe we will now, moving forward, be doing it weekly or every few days. Maybe a few days is like a little bit overkill. Maybe weekly. All right, we are going to start like cleaning our pillowcases weekly. Now, let me flash you guys this image. I'll describe it if you're listening. Imagine this. 2 pillows. Well, actually, okay, there's 3 pillows, right? First one from left to right is white. Second one and third one is beige. Orange, one might say. Maybe cream colored. Now, at first glance, it doesn't look that bad, right? That's what I thought. But that's because I thought that these pillows had pillowcases. No. And I will enlarge this for you guys to see. Oh my gosh. So first, none of the pillows have pillowcases, which is odd. Who sleeps on a pillow without a pillowcase? That's just savagery.
That's not a thing, is it?
Well, I hope not. But in the photos OP is showing, no pillowcase. And how would OP have seen the pillows if they were covered? Because they look pretty bad, guys. Now, if you look in the picture, I thought at first, because of the color of the beige tannishness of the pillowcases and the stains, I thought, interesting, rustic pillowcases. No, that's the pillow. There is no case on these freaking pillows. When I first saw this photo, I cackled out of horror. It was a horror cackle. You guys know when you see something so scary and terrifying, your body just goes into like cope laugh? That was me. I was cope laughing for OP. That is disgusting. There are stains. Also, one of the stains, they look like an outline of something, guys. I'm not going to emphasize it. I'm just going to let you guys see for yourself and judge for yourself. It looks like something inappropriate. That is all I will say. It looks like a body part, a member. That is as descriptive as I will go. But we do have a second photo. You would think the second photo has it in a more flattering light. No, it's worse. You see in pure detail. What is your first reaction to this?
I still can't get past the fact that someone doesn't use a pillowcase.
I feel like that is like red flag. Like, what is wrong with you? I'm sorry. I'm going to judge. Do people sleep on pillows without pillowcases? Like, I get accent pillows. Like, accent pillows aren't your actual pillows that you're on at night. Or like I was going to say, or like a body pillow, but no, even body pillows, like one of those long Asian pillows that you hug and wrap around, even those have cases. What kind of crazy person does not have pillowcases? And also, what is the sentimental value to pillows? Be for real.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I mean, you can be sentimental about things, but pillows? I mean, maybe there's some backstory to it, but
I mean, we don't see it.
At least wash the pillow at minimum. If you're not going to use a pillowcase, that to me is just...
How many... I just have a question for OP's boyfriend. First of all, how old are these pillows? And my second question is, what horrors have they witnessed to become like this? Because they have changed colors probably like 10 times. I don't know any amount of bleach or washing will do any good to breathe life into these pillows. We're laughing about this, but genuinely, I am with OP here. I don't think she's overreacting. The fact that she's like, I can't even kiss him or anything because of this pillowness. There is pillowness. I would think that there's some sort of gross pillowiness that has rubbed off from the pillow to him as a human that he carries around. This sounds so irrational, but for real, whenever I would look at M, like if I came over and we were dating and I saw that M's pillows were in this state, every single time I look at M, I would just see the pillow over his head. Like it would just be like, like jump scare, When we were dating, if I'm staying over and I told you, hey, I want to bring my pillow. It's very sentimental to me. And I whip this thing out. We're about to like get in bed, sleep, have a good night's like cozy snuggles. And I whip this thing out. No pillowcase. You just see it in all of its glory. What would you say?
Definitely be surprised if that's the right word.
Wait, would you? Okay. You know how there's certain things that like you pass? I feel like there's some things you overlook because it's the beginning of the relationship and you kind of like, it's okay, I can get past it. But then long term, it's like a no. Is this something like, at what point in our relationship would you say something that, whoa.
I mean, at this point okay, so there are a couple of things, right? As you pointed out, there's no pillowcase. Those pillows they look like they haven't been washed in like 20 years or something like that, right? If it was okay, one of those things, maybe I would like brush off. But I think at this point, I would think there's something actually serious going on. There's some mental thing that is happening as to why you have pillows like that. At this point, I mean,
you'd question my mental state over the pillow.
I would. It's just so out there, and it's just not one thing. I mean, yeah, I get it. It's just a pillow, but there are multiple things that are wrong with the pillow, in my opinion. It's just not normal at all.
The fact that he's not even willing to change them. He doesn't want to change them. Oh, he's like, hey, so you want to replace them or something? No.
I guess there has to be something more to it.
Well, lucky for you, we do have an update on this story. I'm so ready to see what the update is. Let's go into comments first, though. First comment from Shiba Spots. My first thought, what's so bad? It's the same color as my pillowcases. Commenter, I don't know. This is some bravery to put this out there. I am judging you. Commenter says, second thought, oh God, there's no case. There's no case. Kill it with bleach and fire. I'm dying. Okay, at first I was judging the commenter from his or hers like first line because they're like, oh, what's so bad? That looks like my pillows. And I'm like, there can't be a whole like group of people who have pillows like this, right? This can't be a universally shared experience. So very, very glad that we have the same reaction there. See, I don't know which one is worse. The fact that he is sleeping without pillowcases or the fact that the pillow has seen, 3 different like revolutions and 4 wars and been through like 5 tragedies. Which one is worse? I feel like the lack of pillowcase is worse because that means he's not changing the pillowcase in addition to washing the pillow. Which one's worse?
I don't know. To me, my first reaction is to laugh, but there are 2 things wrong here. No pillowcases, and you don't wash the pillow.
It's an unholy combo.
I would laugh if it was just a single thing. Either or. I think that is okay. Maybe you're just unaware. But both of those things?
At the same time.
No, that is a combination. Like that's what I said. There has to be more to this.
Well, lucky for you, OP does have an update. Frequently asked question because this blew up immediately and I couldn't imagine keeping up with the replies. Does he know I posted this? Yes, I actually wrote this after we talked last night and I've shown it to him since it blew up. Do they smell bad? Surprisingly, not really. Just musty, which is surprising for us all. Okay, so maybe he does wash it, but then that begs the question. Well, okay. I don't want to doubt your sense of smell, OP, but you do know sense of smell is one of the weakest senses for humans. What is it? Like hearing, sight, taste, touch, smell. Smell is pretty low on the totem pole of sensitivity. Did you perhaps just get used to it? Like, and then you guys are just basking in the musty scent of the pillows for a month and not really noticing it anymore? Or is it that, well, actually, no. Then my other question is, say that he has washed it. What has he done to it to get it to that state, though? I have never seen a pillow that straight up has become orange.
I know that pillows, I think over time, they will change color. Just
like that?
Well, not the stain parts, right? But overall, like fabrics do yellow, like t-shirts do yellow over time. So do the pillows, right? Give it enough years, they will yellow.
Like that?
Not the stains.
You're trying to defend the yellowiness of this pillow, and I'm just
if they were even yellow, even shade, I guess what do you call it, without any patterns or any stains, I think that would be okay. But there are clearly stains on them.
You might want to call it an art piece even. I see different splotches of watercolor effects on it. It almost looks like one of those texture effects that you apply in like a PowerPoint presentation or a Canva slide or something. You could almost call it a piece of work. It's art in its own. So OP says, is he clean otherwise? Yes, he is, which is why this was weird. His mattress is totally clean and newish and has a protector on it, and he cleans his sheets when he does his laundry weekly. Clean about his cat and litter too. No stray litter I've walked over. Does he wash his ass? That took me out. That's not the first thing that I thought of. That would have never entered my question. So I don't know why that's a frequently asked question from commenters about her boyfriend and OP. Okay.
Straight to the point.
What do they think he does? Do they think that he like sits bare butt on his bare pillow? Is that the thinking here? Oh my God. OP says, as we have showered together, yes, he actually spent a lot of time showering and washing himself. Comically so. Okay, but then what is he doing with these dang pillows? How are there multiple layers to the stains? And how has the color deepened to such an extent? This is like the biggest mystery for me. Opie continues, okay, I talked to him about this and he was totally willing to make some changes, especially after reading some of the comments, lol, and said he wants to buy new pillows and bedding, but that he didn't know where to go. Target? Amazon? Oh, I have so many questions of what's going on here. Like, is this like common experience? Do men not know where to buy bedding? I am judging your boyfriend so hard, OP. This sounds like grabbing at straws. I mean, come on. You don't know where to buy bedding? Google? If you search up bedding, shopping, I'm sure some site will appear. I don't know. What? Target, Walmart, Amazon. You want to support local business? I'm sure small shops also carry bedding. Even the dollar store carries bedding. Has he been living under a rock? What kind of conditions has he been living in? M's shock is on him not having a pillowcase. My shock comes from him not knowing where to buy bedding. That means he's never bought any. This is the first and last set he's ever had. Well, now he's getting new ones, so yay. But, so they're as old as him. They're as old as time itself. They have outlived 3 presidencies, at least. Oh my gosh. Okay, OP says, talk to him. He's willing to make some changes. And he says he wants to buy new ones, doesn't know where. So we went on a little date to IKEA. Oh yeah, IKEA. And got him a duvet cover, 2 new pillows, and pillowcases. I want to work on getting him sheets that aren't navy blue, but one battle at a time. It was very cute and we both feel really good about how we're going to communicate in the future. The sentimental comment, apparently he didn't know how to phrase it, but was still really respectful, but y'all were mostly right. They were one of the few things he took with him when he got kicked out by his parents when he was 15. So they are sentimental. However, we communicated that they could be sentimental from the closet and that he deserves to sleep comfortably and cleanly. Lol. Well, okay, now I feel like an a-hole. Yes, okay. Sorry, guys. I did not factor in the potential, probably the OP's boyfriend was kicked out at 15. That is devastating. I feel really bad for OP's boyfriend. And I'm so sorry that you only had, well, one of the few things that you could carry out were like bed sheets and pillows. But honestly, I'm with OP here in the sense of you deserve to sleep comfortably and cleanly. And I love that there's communication. Like, it's not like he's like, no, they're my pillows. I will never give them up. No, you're the weird one. But they're both laughing. It seems like they're both kind of enjoying, laughing at, and taking maybe some criticism from the comments in a very good-natured way. So I kind of love this for their relationship. Still, though, the pillowcases. I mean, no, the pillowcases need to come, but the actual pillows need to go. And in this case, since they're sentimental, fine, let them go in the closet. Although I will say, as someone who tends to kind of like, I don't want to say I'm a hoarder, but tends to kind of keep clothes or things and go, oh, maybe I'll use them later. Is there sentimental value? Are you guys actually going to use those pillows ever again? Do you really need to keep them? And don't they become like moldy? Don't pillows become moldy over time? Like if they're unused and unwashed? Or is that only because if they're damp?
I think it's mostly if they're damp.
Okay.
There needs to be moisture, I think, for mold to grow. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
No, I think you might be right on that. But you know what? Who am I to decide whether or not OP's boyfriend should keep his pillows? Like, sure, keep your pillows. Just maybe not use them. I'm very glad. I'm glad they worked out. This is such a... I was going to say heartwarming. It's not really heartwarming. It's just comically funny, but with a cute ending. You know, they're going to go on an IKEA date together. They're going to select bedding together. That's cute. I think one of the hallmarks of a very loving relationship is selecting bedding together. Does that sound so like cheesy? No? But I remember when Emma and I first started getting bedding together, right? I mean, it's less romantic because I think Amazoned our first one. But when we started going to IKEA to select bedding together, when we moved in together and started living together, it was like official. I felt like we were in the next phase of our relationship because we're selecting something together that we're going to use regularly. You know, it felt more like that encompassing togetherness. I don't know. Maybe I'm cheesing too hard. Maybe I'm like being a little bit too like gushy, mushy, gushy. And you guys are like, oh, stop. But I think for me, it was one of those moments where I think of fondly. And of course, now I found out that I have a deep love for apparently plaid bedding. I don't know why, guys. We have like 3 different plaid beddings. I think they're blue, green, even a tablecloth is plaid. Regardless, I look at it as a very fond memory. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Aw. Now, would you ever go like totally girly in the bedding? I think we'd usually go like very neutral plaids. What if we did like croquette style, like ribbons and bows?
I don't know. I think it just needs to look nice and be comfortable, practical. I don't really care what color it is, to be honest.
Pink it is. I'm calling our next one.
Sure.
But if you guys have a memory of like a fond memory where you really felt like you were taking the next step in your relationship, or you felt like a next level of closeness, let me know. Comment your stories. Like, I love and I love hearing about meet cutes or romantic moments in other people's relationships. I'm kind of nosy like that. So let me know in the comments if you have one.
Kind of shows that different people have various things that they're maybe not aware about. I mean, some people don't know that they need to, like, for example, change oil in their car or change air filter in their house for the furnace, etc.
I didn't know any of that.
There are weird things that people just kind of, that we think is normal, that they don't know about.
True. So maybe OP just didn't know about the pillowcase situation.
Yeah,
he doesn't know that you should use one.
Yeah, OP's boyfriend kind of hit the jackpot there with 2-in-1 there. No pillowcases, not washing the pillows.
The ultimate jackpot. Oh, we got some wholesome comments too, though. From Usual Goal, this is such a heartwarming update. Who knew Pillow Talk could lead to a mini IKEA adventure? It sounds like you two are really working together on this, and it's great he's willing to make changes. Plus, now he gets to keep those sentimental pillows in a nice, safe place while enjoying fresh bedding. Everyone wins. Here's to cozy nights and no more musty pillows. May your future pillow fights be epic and clean. I agree. This is really sweet. You know what's not talked about enough, guys? IKEA dates, IKEA adventures. They're like my favorite thing. People hype up the Target dates all the time and love those. But a moment of applause for IKEA. Oh, I love them so much. So first off, super affordable as long as you're not tempted to buy a bunch of trinkets, which is kind of dangerous. But you get to look at furniture. There's different showrooms. There's just a lot of things to visually see and interact with. You know, it's fun. There's like a layout similar to Target. So it's almost like you're going on a little treasure map if you're looking for something. And when you're hungry, you can just head over to the food court. And if after food you want some froyo, you can grab some froyo, maybe a hot dog as a after snack, maybe a Cinnabon. And then if you really like those meatballs, you can then go to the frozen section and grab some to make some at home. We actually have some in the freezer. And I do realize now I sound like a talking ad for IKEA. Not sponsored, but if IKEA, you're ever listening, my door is open. And literally, is everything you guys see here IKEA? This pillow happens to be IKEA. The case for it, yes, we do put a case around our accent pillows, okay? No shade to you, OP. Had to throw it out there. Also IKEA. And it happens to be navy blue. So
couch as well.
Oh yes, the couch as well. This couch is also from IKEA, guys. So yeah, can you tell I'm an IKEA girl? I love IKEA. Last comment from here from My Wife Rocks. I love this username. This is the sweetest update. Good for you two. You are an incredibly kind person. Your new boyfriend is lucky. I sure hope he shows it. And OP says, oh, he does. He's the sweetest. Oh, I love you guys so much. I love it when there's a good couple. Like, I just want to root for you guys. May your days be full of happiness and clean bedding and hopefully a pillowcase. Please get a pillowcase. I like it. Do you like the story?
Yeah.
I love this one. Our next story is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole? I was looking for more Halloween themed stories because I'm thinking spooky season, there must be some crazy things happening in people's lives, right? But instead, I got a Thanksgiving dinner story. I know, you guys are probably saying, oh my gosh, we're on Thanksgiving already? Apparently, yes. There's already drama for Thanksgiving, even though it's over a month away. Now, the story reads, am I the a-hole for refusing to cook a vegetarian Thanksgiving dinner? OP says, I feel like I've slipped into the twilight zone with this whole argument. So tell me what's up, internet folks. Background. I, 31-year-old female, and my brother, Mark, 35-year-old male, do not get along. When he was a teen, he saw a documentary on factory farming and decided to become vegetarian. He got very, very annoying about it quickly, but my dad shut him down when he started trying to get the rest of us to be vegetarian with him. Then he went to college, made a bunch of very strange friends, and went militantly vegan. It's his entire personality. I stopped talking to him after he threw a fit about one of my birthday dinners being at a steakhouse and spammed my messages and social media with pictures of abused cows. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Where does one begin? You guys might be aware, I am somewhat of a foodie. I love cooking shows. I love food. I love eating it. I like restaurants. I just love food. I do not like cooking though. And Emma and I have hosted Thanksgiving dinner before. When I think Thanksgiving, I think a very hearty meal. Hearty, usually there's, the hunk of turkey, right? Big meat element there. You got some stuffing, you got some sides. It's a very joyous event with family. Now, I'm also supportive though if people have different diets, like, yeah, let's be inclusive, let's be accommodating. We actually have a vegan friend. So when we have events, we try to have something that definitely other options and alternatives so he can also eat, right? My thing though is kudos to our friend because he's never pushy about it. Where I draw the line, I think you go from being inclusive to being a rude guest is when you start trying to impose and change everyone else's diet to match yours. Like you can definitely influence if you wish to, like maybe gently advise, but you can't like straight up start forcing everyone else to accommodate your diet and your choices. I do think you can send the education material if you so wish, if they're okay with it. But once they say no, I think that's it. That's where the line is drawn, at least for me. Like I just would feel some sort of way if I was hosting an event and our guests would then come into my house and say, you need to switch the menu. It's rude, no matter how you spin it, right? Opie continues, my parents have been trying to repair the situation, and for a while it did seem like Mark was getting better. So I've been letting him back into contact gradually. Then he started dating Pam, who is some kind of vegan influencer. She's apparently moderately popular online, but I have no idea what she does exactly. I don't know if Mark was trying to impress her or what, but last Thanksgiving he insisted that mom cook at least a vegetarian meal or they wouldn't come on ethical grounds. My mom just wanted everyone to get along on her favorite holiday, so she agreed. It was not a fun meal. Now, my question is, does that mean she cooked everything vegetarian or did she set aside something vegetarian for them? Like, that would be my question here, but let's see. Opie says, this year, my parents have downsized for retirement and my mom is having health problems. I bought their house when they moved, so my mom asked me to host Thanksgiving, so it would be like usual. I told everyone in the group chat so Mark and Pam could make travel arrangements, and Pam immediately started gushing about all the vegan replacement recipes she could give me to replace the traditional ones. I said to send me a main dish recipe they like, and I would give it a shot, but I'm making the traditional meal otherwise, and there should still be plenty of things they can eat. Mark and Pam have been arguing about this with me for days. And then Mark said that if I wouldn't make a meat-free meal, they wouldn't come. This upset my mom, who asked me to just make what she made last year to keep the peace. But I told her that Mark needs to get over himself and I'm not coddling him. I'm having turkey on Thanksgiving. My dad privately agrees with me, but Mark threatening to not come is upsetting my mom so much that he's worried it will impact her health. There's a not big, but also not zero chance that these might be some of the last family holidays we have with her. My mom thinks I'm putting turkey over my own family, and I'm not so sure anymore. Am I the a-hole? And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We finally have a story where the biggest argument of all is whether or not there should be turkey on Thanksgiving. There have been some Thanksgivings where I've had turkey and some where I haven't. And Em and I have actually prepared turkey as well. For whatever reason, during the month of November, every single year, November 1st to 30th, all of a sudden I have an intense craving for Thanksgiving turkey, like just turkey meat. Like I love turkey. I could eat it every day, but only for November. Not sure why. But I've also heard a lot of people just do it for the sake of tradition. They don't necessarily love turkey. Now, OP, short answer, no, you're not the a-hole because you want turkey on Thanksgiving. It's your house. You're hosting it. You're doing all the cooking from what I can see here. The audacity of the girlfriend to say, oh my gosh, I can't wait for all the vegan dishes you're going to make for me. I'll send you all these recipes now to make for me. Hello? OP is not the private chef. OP is not a personal Thanksgiving caterer to cater to Mark and Pam. And I'm sorry, whenever I think Pam, I think of the meme sound. What is it? Like, who are you? I'm Pam. I'm the owner of this house. Who are you? Oh, it's very appropriate, actually. Opie should flip up that meme or audio and show Pam. I think it's very entitled to march into someone's home, especially to your family, even when your mom's struggling with a health situation, to say, I demand that you make a meal catered to only me and my girlfriend. Like, I think there's a middle ground to be met. And Opie did it. Opie's like, I will cook something for you. Send me a recipe. But I'm not going to make everything and force everyone to eat the same thing. Is that weird? Is that wild to say? Now let's look at a few comments. First comment from Crimson Knight. Not the whole, you're not putting turkey over family. Mark is putting tofurkey over family. Oh, I see what the comment did there. Like tofurkey. You've reasonably accommodated enough with a vegan option. Mark doesn't get to hold holidays hostage because of his own dietary choices. That's ridiculous. If Mark wants to pitch a fit, that's him. I feel very sorry for your mom. She's the one suffering most here, but she needs to realize that Mark is the one causing this family divide, and it isn't fair to everyone else to cater to his demands. I would even go a step further. If Mark wants to pitch a fit so badly, maybe he should pitch in and freaking cook. He can contribute some of the vegan meals that he so wants. Like if he wants a whole vegan feast, make one, Mark. Get in the kitchen, get on an apron, start cooking. Another comment from Purple Funky Boss. I came to make these exact points. I'm glad OP wants to be strong and hold their ground, as they should, but it makes me violently frustrated that mom would accept Mark's childish behavior and then attempt to bully the rest of the family. Is mom's health issue that her backbone was removed? Dang, shots fired at the mom. I would never let one of my kids act like that. My family is a mixture of people on keto, lactose intolerant, gluten-free, etc., and we all work together to make sure everyone has options, including bringing what they want. There's always plenty of food, but it's more about being together for us. This is crazy. I agree. I do think there's a level of babying the brother here. Now, who was older? So, brother's older at 35 and OP's 31. So he's the eldest, so you would think that he's behaving more mature, more like an older brother. At first, I thought OP was the older sister here. I do think it's the case where the louder the ruckus, the more influence. As in whoever's caught like stirring the pot the most and who's ever loudest and more vocal about what they want usually gets what they want. And I think this is that case. I think dad agrees with OP and mom. They all just seem like, oh, we just want to keep the peace, want to keep the peace. But Mark does not seem to care about the peace at all, or mom's health or mom's condition. He's just like, nope, vegan, my way or the highway, nothing else. So yeah, I think it's pretty obvious. OP's not the a-hole here for me. What do you think?
I would say I generally agree with the whole
I hear
reaction.
but.
I mean, playing devil's advocate here, right? And maybe replace veganism with something else.
Yeah.
Imagine your whole family is, or even society as general, we're into some practice that is generally, when you think about it,
Harmful?
is harmful. It's not good, or maybe shouldn't be accepted, right? And you're the one on the edge doing that one thing that is so-called what you think is the right thing.
Yeah.
And you're kind of trying to stand up for it. I mean, I guess, do you see my point there?
Yeah. So I don't think the point makes Mark any less of an a-hole. However, I see the perspective that he thinks this is a broader cause. Like he truly believes that this is his identity. This is him trying to do good for the planet. This is his role. So it bothers him that his family's not on board. Like I see that. I still think he's an a-hole. Just because I don't think this cause, this hill that he's chosen to die on should be taken priority over what his immediate family members want. In the grand scheme of things, I think it's more of a matter of principle than actually making an impact at that point. And I just, between that, if I was in Mark's situation, I would try to affect the change that I personally can do. And I would maybe send some articles, like maybe convince them over time with reason, like in a respectful way. I just don't think Mark is being respectful about his views. And I think that's the problem. And also, if he really feels that way, you know what a good way to convince his family being vegan? He could get in the kitchen and cook them some really delicious vegan alternatives. An option? Rather than spam them with like abused cow photos.
I have to agree. I'm not. I'm not.
You're not defending Mark?
I'm not defending Mark, but I just wanted to
Like,
bring a different viewpoint here. That
yeah,
I think even in our human history, there have been instances where I think
mass is wrong, and like maybe a few
masses are wrong
people.
about
Yeah,
certain things that are being done. So, but in any case, I think in from Mark's perspective, I think you have to pick your battles, and there are definitely better ways to make people switch sides or get people on your side rather than doing what he's doing, in my
yeah.
opinion. So,
Well, it's interesting because I have a personal story related to this. So, my mom is. I am so fortunate. My mom is a great chef. I am so lucky. You guys don't understand. Like, the best thing that a foodie can have is to be blessed with a parent who cooks a lot and cooks well. What a blessing. Like, I count my lucky stars. Thank you, mom. But here's the funny thing. So, my mom has, in later years of her life, been a lot more health conscious. So, sometimes she wants to cook more vegetarian or vegan dishes for health reasons. And she just wants like some lighter meals. So, she'll like change out some of the things that she cooks that way. The thing is, though, before she cooked some of her more vegan dishes or vegetarian dishes, I was very against, like, for me personally, going into a vegetarian diet. Only because, guys, I love meat. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I look at a chicken and I think chicken nuggets. It's bad. Like, I am a carnivore. I'm not even gonna lie. I am. I love my steaks. Like, I look at a cow and I'm just like, filet mignon, here I come, you know? So my mom would say, "Ay, yeah," all the time when I would tell her these things. And she knows how much I love this food. And sometimes she'll like offer to cook and she cooks a lot. And she'll say, "Oh, do you want some of this? I'm making extras of this or portions of this, or I feel like cooking XYZ dish," right? And initially, she's also following more of like a mix of more leading towards vegetarian, vegan diet nowadays. And she tried to convince me before, but she wasn't pushy. She was just saying, "Hey, I think for health reasons, maybe you should, mix up your diet a little bit more, eat more of some of these dishes." Initially, I was like, "Mom, I'm so sorry. It's just not for me." I just, no amount of essay reading will ever convince me logically because it's what the heart wants and what the tummy wants. Like, I love it. I love meat. I love my steaks, right? Now, my perspective has changed a lot over the past few years, and Em can attest to this as well, because my mom does this thing every year where she cooks like a meal that's all vegan slash vegetarian, like a mix of vegan and vegetarian dishes, right? And when I go to her house and I eat her food, I don't complain. I eat it. Like, I'm a guest at her place and she made this for me and the family. So I'm not going to say anything. I will not say a single thing. No complaints from me. I ate it. Delicious. Oh my gosh. I realize now my issue wasn't with vegan food or the vegan diet or vegetarian diet at all. It was just I'd never had good vegetarian or vegan food before. And that's why I just thought, oh, they can't possibly match up to some of the more meaty dishes I'm used to. Honestly, broaden your horizons, broaden your palate, try different foods. You'll be surprised. Prepare it the right way by the right chef with the right ingredients. Oh my gosh, it is amazing. Like my mom has made vegan spring rolls, summer rolls, vegan lo mein, vegan noodles, like vegan soups. So freaking good. And you don't miss the meat at all. Honestly. I mean,
yeah,
we
yeah,
can ask Em.
I can attest to that. Although I would have to, unfortunately, say if I was only on that diet,
Like full time.
I think I would be angry.
I think
I
so.
would miss the protein.
Yeah.
Well, the meat protein, I guess.
Yeah. Because we have a lot of tofu in the dishes and like other sources of protein. But for me personally, I would never go fully into it just because I also love meat. But I'm also very appreciative of good vegan vegetarian dishes. Basically, if food is good, I'm gonna eat it. I don't care whether it's like, one diet or the other. So that being said, I think my mom's case is a very good example of how to respectfully, if you want to persuade your family members in a non like confrontational way, maybe offer to host dinner or something. So that way, like you have full control of the menu. Overall, that's just to say, OP's not the a-hole, and she was rated not the a-hole. Oh, do you guys have any Thanksgiving plans coming up or anything fun coming up? Let me know. I love hearing about people's plans. I think this year we'll probably do Thanksgiving dinner like with my family and then also with M's family. So lucky for me, that means double the turkey. All right, our last story is from the subreddit AITH. Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay for my sister's therapy after she ruined my wedding? Okay, so here's the deal. My 29-year-old female wedding was supposed to be the best day of my life, right? You know the drill. Months of planning, stress, money, all that stuff. My sister, 25-year-old female, was my maid of honor, and she's always had a flair for drama. But I figured she could keep it together for one day. Spoiler alert, she didn't. Fast forward to the big day, everything's going smoothly until the reception. My sister gets wasted, like falling over, crying, causing a scene, wasted. She starts ranting about how I, quote, always get everything, and how my wedding is just another example of me being the golden child in front of all my guests, including my in laws. It gets worse. She actually grabs the mic during the speeches and starts going off about her struggles and how it's not fair that I'm happily married while she's single at my wedding. The whole vibe turned to awkward, and my husband's family was just shocked. People started leaving early, and I spent the rest of the night trying to put out fires instead of enjoying what was supposed to be our special day. Now, weeks later, my parents say my sister is struggling with her mental health. No kidding. And they want me to pay for her therapy. Their reasoning is that since I'm the successful one, I should help out, and it would show that I'm a good sister. But she ruined my wedding. I don't think I should have to foot the bill for her meltdown. I'm still angry about the whole thing, and honestly, I feel like she owes me an apology first. But my parents think I'm being cold-hearted and that it's my responsibility to support her. They're pressuring me hard, but I just don't think it's fair to ask me to pay for something she clearly needs to take accountability for. So, am I the a-hole? I'm weirded out when it's not only it's not just strangers, but close family members coming in to destroy their own siblings' weddings. Why is this a trend, guys? Why? Why is the wedding the day that everyone decides to open the can of worms and vent all their frustrations? It's the most expensive day to do it. It's the worst day to do it. What did it not occur? I don't know. Hey sis, I have some things to say to you in private. Do you want to grab lunch one day? Do you want to come over dinner at your house or my place and let's talk it out? No phone call, nothing. Just on the wedding day, just word vomit to her guests and humiliate the bride that way. I mean, it's not a good look. I hate that the parents are doing that. They're like, you should pay for her therapy now. Were you about to say something?
No, I think if OP wants to do it, she can, but she's definitely not obligated. And in regards to the wedding, in my opinion, it should be a day for celebration, not to bring up issues. Air out your concerns or issues, etc.
You think? You know what? I think I know what it is. I think at weddings, it's like usually a big event where you have a family audience, like all your friends and family, everyone who's important to you is there. And you got a stage usually and a microphone. I feel like the microphone, the power of the mic just goes to people's heads and it's almost like spotlight shows on. This is when it's time for me to just word vomit it all
Or is
out.
it the alcohol?
Oh, well, yeah. I think the alcohol plays a huge part in that.
Or is it just the OP sisters?
Jealousy?
Well, mental issues, I guess.
I think so, problems. But here's the thing. OP's sister is definitely struggling with mental health, obviously, but let's be real. She's jealous. I don't think mental health excuses out of line behavior. There are consequences. I think, okay, it's one thing to, okay, you know what's causing it. Let's try to solve it with therapy and whatnot. But then there's also owning up to it. I don't think OP, even if she wants to, should pay for the therapy because I think it enables the sister. She can offer to after the sister apologizes. I think an apology needs to be made. I haven't seen anything about that. No acknowledgement of wrongdoing. I'm surprised that OP didn't kick her sister out after the first whole stumbling, crying, falling over, wasted situation. That would piss me off. Imagine my sister doing that on our wedding day. I'm just like, I love you, sis, but you've got to go. Go lie down somewhere. This is not the time or the moment for it. And I'm not going to risk the rest of the event and the rest of this day because you can't keep control of your emotions right now. I know that sounds cold, but come on. I don't think it's fair that the offended side should always have to take the brunt of being the bigger person, which is what the parents are saying. You're the successful one. You should pay for her therapy. But she just ruined your wedding. She should pay for it. Sis should financially and morally pay for it in terms of consequences. I think, I guess, accepting what you did, even if they weren't like the best actions, and then trying to resolve it is an adult thing and is a part of actually solving, maybe supporting your mental health as well. I don't think going to therapy will solve all of sister's issues here if she's not even willing to apologize for what she did. And I don't see that from the parents, because the parents just seem like, oh no, she's struggling. Does that excuse her behavior? Does everyone with mental health with bad mental health, are they then excused to ruin their family members' weddings? Is that what we're saying here? Because I don't agree with that. I think it's a problem to be worked on, but you can't just approach it with, let's throw therapy at it and this will solve everything. Like, I think there needs to be tangible action out of it to your family members and to people that you did the wrong to. But maybe that's a hot take, guys. Am I too harsh? You can let me know if I'm being too harsh. Now, OP says, their reasoning is that since I'm the successful one, I should help out and it would show that I'm a good sister, but like she ruined my wedding. I don't think I should have to foot the bill for her meltdown. I'm so angry about the whole thing, and honestly, I feel like she owes me an apology first. That's what I said. But my parents think I'm being cold-hearted and that it's my responsibility to support her. They're pressuring me hard, but I just don't think it's fair to ask me to pay for something she clearly needs to take accountability for. So, am I the a-hole? No! Oh, I'm so annoyed. Did I not just say this? It's just, how about before the whole paying thing? Like, where's the apology? Where's the apology? For real. Man, that pisses me off. When someone goes and does something really bad to you, but then everyone around you is pressuring you to be the bigger person and to pay them, this is wild. She's lucky she's not charging her sister for the damages to the wedding. Okay, so OP's 29, sister's 25. Sorry, if you are adult enough to drive, if you are adult enough to sign a lease and to own a home, to own property, to be responsible as an adult in your life, you're going to have to take responsibility for your own mental health. I'm just going to say it. Like, yes, I feel really bad for the sister. And it seems that there's a lot of background issues that's going on with the sister. Doesn't excuse what you did. And I think, sister, the correct action would be here for her to apologize. If she needs financial help, she can ask. And OP can then offer if she so chooses. But right now, it's kind of looking a little bit, it's leaving a bad taste in my mouth, because not only is sister not the one asking for money for her own therapy, it's the parents doing it. So it's like, okay, so you need the money, but you're not even going to ask for it yourself. You're going to have your parents ask your sister, who you ruined the wedding day of, for it. No. Nope. I had some sympathy for the sister, but as I'm talking out loud with you guys, yeah, not that whole OP. Don't pay. I wouldn't pay for the therapy. Sister can handle it. You're not responsible. What do you think?
I think it's fair.
To pay or not to pay?
Well, not to pay. I think it's almost a double blow, right? One is what happened during the event, and then the second blow is kind of without apology. Oh, then you also have to pay for her therapy. I mean, I can kind of see the other side, that from parents' perspective, but at the same time, I think there's a certain line there that I think maybe parents should be trying to help their daughter get help.
Oh yeah, why don't they pay for the sister then?
Well, potentially there's some, I guess, money issue there, right?
Maybe.
But in any case, it's just, I think there needs to be apology there somewhere.
Yeah.
Before OP is willing to pay for it, I guess. At least I think that's their stand.
I think that is like my the thing that infuriates me the most. No apology. No apology, but they want money to pay for her therapy. That is so wild to me. Now, first comment from Square Sprinkles. Not the whole, she's not your responsibility. If anything, why aren't your parents helping her? Wow, I am 3 for 3 today, guys. I am predicting our first comments. OB responds, honestly, no idea. They're acting like it's all on me just because I'm more stable or whatever. But it feels like they're just passing the responsibility instead of dealing with it themselves. I agree with that. I think some parents carry the idea that older siblings should shoulder more of the responsibility no matter what happens. I just don't agree. Maybe when you're younger in certain situations, but not when you're all grown adults. Another comment from Blue Green. Not they all. It seems your sister is not your only problem. Tell your parents one firm no and then refuse to discuss it anymore. OP responds, I think you're right. I just need to say no and stop letting them guilt trip me. Oh, that's a hard one. Especially if you're the type to have parents who regularly they're not going to say you have to do this, but they will mention it and bring it up again and again and bring up responsibility. They might throw in some buzzwords like you're stable, you're more successful, be the better person, be the older sibling. That's rough. That's going to be hard to say no to, OP. I hope you stay strong. Now, overall, we do not have a verdict yet, but most of the comments are saying not the a-hole, which I agree with. I hope, OP, you stay strong and firm. We don't have an update on this story, but if you guys end up catching an update, do let me know. And let me know as well which story was your favorite. And any other ideas for October or spooky season? I want to know. You guys have sent in some great ideas so far. I am still brainstorming what we're going to do for Halloween week, but it will be fun, I promise. Don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe, guys, for more stories. I will be posting the next video on Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. And if you're listening to me on Spotify, don't forget to rate me 5 stars, guys. I'll see you very soon. Bye.